Yes, hello. My name is Art Fuller, and I'm the Chief Human Services Officer here at Hamilton Center. And I'm also the project director for a corporation-wide grant that we have received, which is called the CCBHC grant. And that stands for Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic. So we definitely want to welcome you on as a new hire. And the purpose of this particular introduction is just to highlight why it's important, literally, for everyone to know within our corporation about the potential implications of the CCBHC. So, the first thing, just to kind of understand, if I had to summarize what the CCBHC is, here's a great real world example, and it's within the shopping and retail space. And we'll use an example of how it applies to the medical space. So, when you go shopping, you may go to a Walmart or another superstore, but when you go in there, it's like your one stop shop. You can go in there, you can get some tires, you can get a toothbrush, you can get a pony, who knows. But the idea is it's one stop shop. You go in there and it's kind of a seamless way to get anything and everything you need. But the purpose of the CCBHC, so applying it to the healthcare arena, is specifically when you think about mental health, there's a stigma associated with mental health. And so when a person comes in, if they're coming into a destination and maybe it's not that one stop shop, there's a high likelihood that they are not getting connected to all the different resources and opportunities that might be available within that particular space. And so the CCBHC grant is intended to really tear down those barriers. So no matter which way that you are reaching out and seeking help for mental behavioral health services, maybe it's through a checkup, a screening, maybe it's just through a provider or appointment, maybe it's through crisis. Whichever way, once you get connected with CCBHC services, there's then a way for you to get connected as a one-stop shop to other ways that would be helpful to you, whether you are a child all the way up through an adult. So we originally received the CCBHC grant in 2020, and we were very successful in our first round. We have received a renewal award for 4 more years. And as part of that, when we originally received the grant, just the national conversation around CCBHC, I would say, was very isolated. People really didn't know what it was or what the opportunities was. But after we've gone through the pandemic, there's been a tremendous amount of federal resources, national resources that are focused on mental health, people in crisis, the new 988 initiative, which is the mental health equivalent of 911. And so, as these national resources are being poured in to becoming more like a CCBHC at a local, regional, and state level, that has implications for any type of institution that's in mental and behavioral health. So, we are very excited to really be on the leading edge as we are in the second round of funding for CCBHC. And I want to highlight some of these key services that go with this concept of being a one-stop shop. And I think the key thing to take away for is no matter which one of these services that you're connected to, as a CCBHC, it's a more seamless and it's an easier way for you to get connected to these other services. So the overall care is just more informed, more personalized, and more customized to the needs of each individual. So I'm going to review each of these 9 specific CCBHC services that are now being discussed at a state level. And so they were originally discussed at a national level. There was funding for it. We received the grant. And now states actually have the incentive to become what are known as CCBHC demonstration states. The advantage of that is if the whole state becomes a CCBHC demonstration state, it is a better way to coordinate resources around each of those 9 areas so that they're not just operating in silos. So let me go over the areas. So the first has to deal with crisis services, and this is the 988. So one of the important parts of CCBHC is you may call the 988 number or our 800 number, which is 1-800-742-0787. You can call it 24/7, 365. So the thing with crisis services, it doesn't close. It's open all the time, 24/7, 365. And then once that call is made, then where do you go next? And so when we first received our CCBHC grant, we expanded the hours of our crisis diversion center from closing at a specific time, maybe 11 p.m., to now where it's open and it's staffed actually with people around the clock. We've even applied for an additional grant focused on crisis stabilization. So even after you make that call, and let's say you come in and in person, and maybe you do not qualify to get placed, let's say for hospitalization, or maybe the best next step is not just outpatient services, but maybe you need to actually stay somewhere for less than 24 hours. We've actually applied for what's called a crisis stabilization grant. That's called crisis stabilization. So crisis services is a very important piece. The other important piece about the crisis services is, and the grant is, we also have a mobile crisis unit. So if someone's in crisis and they don't necessarily have to come to us, we can go to them. So we actually have a team that's run out of our crisis diversion center, where if we have a call with crisis, we can actually go out to that person or to that family, and then we can help actually get them the care they need, whether it's where they are or if they need to come back to Hamilton Center. And as part of that partnership, we also have partnerships with both of our local law enforcement agencies here in the Vigo County area. So that includes the Vigo County Sheriff's Office, 911 Dispatch, and Terre Haute City Police. So if they actually have calls that come into their center and they are not specifically related to 911 type of initiatives, there's not a safety threat, those calls can actually be directly referred to us here at Hamilton Center as part of our crisis diversion center. So there's a lot of emphasis on crisis within the response to crisis within the CCBHC. The other thing you might have seen on television is more mention of this 988 service. When you call 988, the ultimate goal is then you will be connected to the best choice for getting you services within your particular region. So it's a national number, and then no matter where you call it, you're directed to a place that's close to you where you can get help and support. The other areas that I will go through, so you have screening, diagnostic, and risk assessment. And so the key thing with screenings is they can lead to your connection with more primary care type services. So in a number of instances, our patients, our community that we deal with, they might not be connected directly to ongoing healthcare providers. So through primary screenings, we can do the follow-ups, we can see where they are, and we can get them connected. Psychiatric rehabilitation services is an important part of the CCBHC. So what is the best course of treatment and how is that treatment delivered? We actually have an inpatient unit here at Hamilton Center as well. Outpatient primary care screening and monitoring. So maybe when you come in, you don't necessarily, you might not be in crisis, but you just need outpatient services. So that's under the CCBHC umbrella. Targeted case management. Maybe you need to be paired with an individual or team that is continuing to follow up with you as you're dealing with different mental and behavior health challenges. That's a part of the CCBHC. Peer and family support and counselor services. So there's a kind of a new title, or a new word title out there called peer recovery specialists. And so these are individuals that may have been involved and have been successful in recovery, having them actually involved in our treatment and support process. Community-based mental health care for veterans. We really have a strong emphasis on our military veterans program, and we actually have received that STAR designation from that particular entity. So we're very excited about that. Person and family centered treatment planning, any type of services, we want it to be part of a strategic plan that's well planned out, and then outpatient mental health and substance use services. So the thing that you can hopefully see about the CCBHC, it really does serve as an umbrella for that one-stop shop. So maybe if you come into crisis, but hey, maybe you're a veteran, Maybe you want to be connected with a peer that also has successful experience in recovery. You might need to be referred to an inpatient unit. Maybe you just need outpatient care services. So whatever the options are, maybe you want to be connected to our Grace Clinic, which is a federally qualified health clinic lookalike where you can get connected to primary care services. The theme of the one-stop shop for the coordination of mental health care and primary care, the purpose of CCBHC is to bring all of that together. So that's a quick introduction. There are definitely a lot more details, but the important thing is please know what CCBHC stands for, what it really is trying to do, and why it's important. This is the way that healthcare is going. This is part of the governor's initiative. It's already part of national initiatives related to 988, certified community behavioral health clinics. And, I should give you a quiz on that, but it's right there on the screen. And so you would definitely hear just more details about the CCBHC. And again, we're so excited that you are here and joining us here at Hamilton Center. And I look forward to connecting with you in person, because it's likely I saw you at a new hire lunch or something like that. So glad that you're with Hamilton Center, and we'll connect later. Hope you have a great day. Bye.